Excuse me. Folks, it's been a long week. It's been a very, very, very long week. It's been a fast week. These days are going by fast. I don't like it. I don't like when these days go. I don't like when I'm off work. I don't like when these days go by fast. I like it going by fast when I'm at work, not when I'm off work. You know, if you know what I'm saying. So, you know, when you think about things in life, sometimes it's hard to process it. Sometimes it's hard to get over it. But at some point, you got to realize enough is enough. You have to get over it. You got no choice. Well, in this case scenario, folks, let's as far as Friday Night Smackdown, let's talk a lot about Charlotte Flair. First of all, whether you all like her or not, you have to respect everything that Charlotte Flair has done in WWE. Excuse me. Now, as far as the brand to brand thing, the wild card rule, what the hell is WWE doing with the wild card rule? Why in the hell is WWE bringing the wild card rule back? Now, for one, I think it's interesting bringing it back, but it's not good that they're bringing the wild card rule back. I don't think it's great at all to be bringing that back. I think it's terrible that WWE is bringing that back, the wild card rule. For a few reasons why I think WWE bringing back the wild card rule is terrible. Number one, it's going to cause confusion to a lot of the superstars on the roster. Number two, some of the superstars in the wild card rule are not in their right brands. Specifically, for an example, Baron Corbin. Now they have Baron Corbin on Raw going against the WWE Championship, Drew McIntyre, next week on Raw. Why the wild bringing back the wild card rule just doesn't make sense to me at all. And I think some of the WWE superstars can agree with me on this, can relate to this. I think the podcasters like JD from NY can agree with me and relate to this too. But, you know, the wild card rule, bringing that back wasn't cool. And then, for them to be bringing it back, they should have just left it right where it was to begin with. I mean, there is no sense in bringing the wild card rule back. There's no sense in that. There's just no sense in bringing it back. I just don't agree with it. I don't think they should do it. It's going to cause confusion to the roster. It's going to cause confusion to probably the producers too that's running WWE, the producers that are, you know, the writers that are giving these superstars promos to cut in the ring and everything else. It's going to cause confusion in the roster, man. And it's going to confuse a lot of fans as to where the superstars, what brand the superstars are actually on and where do they land. It's going to cause confusion to the superstar shakeup of where all the superstars, what brand all the superstars are going to land and where they could land. Like for an example, I seen the video last year of the superstar shakeup predictions. I've seen that this person had Dolph Ziggler possibly being drafted to 205 Live or NXT, and it's the same with Cesaro. I've seen a prediction video of that. You know, stuff like that. I mean, but the point is, they should have left the wild card rule alone. It just Doesn't make sense for them to bring it back. There's no sense in bringing it back. I think the wild card rule sucks. I don't like it. I don't like that idea being brought back to WWE, and I think they should just leave the fucking shit alone. Period. Plain and simple. And for the simple fact that some of the fans don't really want it to be brought back, well, WWE's not going to listen. They're not going to listen. Even if somebody on Twitter posts and says the wild card rule shouldn't be brought back, WWE's not going to listen. But what they're finally trying their best to listen to is listening to podcasters and broadcasters like me telling everybody on their reviews, on my reviews, that WWE needs to do something about the Monday Night Raw and Smackdown ratings. I've said this on my Monday Night Raw review this Tuesday morning. So this Tuesday morning on my Monday Night Raw review, I said that WWE needs to be doing something about the Monday Night Raw and Smackdown ratings. The Raw and Smackdown ratings are getting bad. And and also on my Monday Night Raw review this Tuesday morning, I said that what was it I said? What was it? I'm trying to remember. Hold on. It may come to my head in probably 5 seconds. I said that the reason why the Raw and Smackdown ratings are getting bad right now the way they are is because they are giving us bad storylines, bad matches. Let's see, what else? Bad backstage interviews. Let's see, what else? Bad endings to Raw and SmackDown, bad beginnings to Raw and SmackDown. I mean, those are all the reasons why the ratings are down the way they are. And the superstars that are being, I guess, drafted to the wrong brands that they should be. And there's too many heels, there's too many baby faces. You got that too. And then the talent that's being brought to NXT to the main roster, Vince McMahon is claiming is the reason why the ratings are going down. No, I don't think it's the talent. I think it's the way they're being used and handled. I think it's the way they're doing the shows. I think it's got a lot to do with the producers and the creative team and the writers. I think it's got a lot to do with them. This is not the superstars' fault. The blame has to go on the fucking writers, creative team, and the producers for the ratings to be going down. The blame has to go on them. They should be responsible for giving us better shows. WWE, period. WWE themselves should be responsible for giving us better shows. Or for not giving us better shows. Which they need to. I think at this point, WWE needs to take time. Trying to clear my throat. Talking like I got food in my mouth, but I really don't. Anyways, WWE at this point needs to take time to think and figure out what they are going to do to boost up the Monday Night Raw and SmackDown ratings. They need to come up with good storylines, good promos, they need to come up with how they're going to give us a better Monday Night Raw and SmackDown show. And how they should boost up the Raw and SmackDown ratings. They need to figure that out right now. If they haven't figured that out already, which they ought to be having this figured out by now. But you know what? I mean, if they listen, they listen. If they don't, they don't. It is what it is, man. But seriously, they need to be figuring out what they're going to do to boost up the Raw and SmackDown ratings. I think they should be giving us better storylines, better matches, better endings and beginnings to Raw and SmackDown. And all that needs to improve. And the roster. That too needs to improve. Because you don't have much women on the SmackDown roster. You have more on the Raw roster than you have more women on the SmackDown roster. So it's more women on the Raw roster than SmackDown roster. You know, that's like the men's division. That's like the men they got on the roster. And you got men like MVP that don't even deserve to be on the roster. That needs to freaking retire. You got people like MVP that needs to retire. Edge, he could stick around on the roster. He's even though he's a Hall of Famer, he rightfully deserves to be on the roster because he hasn't wrestled for about he has not wrestled for years. He really hasn't. And to see him wrestling again, coming off fresh from that neck injury, it's really good seeing Edge coming back, performing the way he does, and he still got it, even though he's in his 40s, he still got it, It's great to see people like that on the roster. It's great to see legends like Undertaker and Goldberg on the roster. But people that are not great on the roster that is not good to see is MVP. People like that need to retire. His wrestling skills are awful. His wrestling moves are awful. All he does is punch and punch and punch and punch. All I see him do is punch. That's it. I haven't seen him do any other moves in the ring. His moves are awful. Just like Jinder Mahal's. But anyways, so tonight's Friday nights. Tonight's Friday Night SmackDown, we saw Braun Strowman. We saw Otis trying to find him a partner. And we saw Miz TV. We saw Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, and Bayley in the ring. And then, the usual. The IC tournament started. We saw the IC tournament. We saw Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Charlotte Flair. We saw Otis. Then we saw Braun Strowman on TV on Friday SmackDown. We saw the match between King Corbin and Elias, which started the tournament. The IC tournament. The IC, which it stands for Intercontinental Championship Tournament. Which it actually stands for Intercontinental Championship. I just wanted to say the rest. So yeah, IC tournament looks like it's not going to be bad. They need to have the right winner. I think the winner of the whole tournament should either be Sheamus. It should either be Sheamus, Elias, or maybe potentially Jeff Hardy or Daniel Bryan. One of the four. One of those four guys I think will come out and win. It'll either be Daniel Bryan, Jeff Hardy, Sheamus, or Elias. Or it may end up being Shinsuke Nakamura again. That is going to be a false fail. That is going to be a bad show if Shinsuke Nakamura comes out as an Intercontinental Champion. It's going to be back to square one again if Shinsuke Nakamura comes out and wins the whole tournament and becomes Intercontinental Championship. See, this is another reason why Friday Night SmackDown Raw are struggling, because they keep having the same people winning the same titles. What the hell? They have the same people winning the same titles. The same people that's already won those titles for about maybe 5-6 times. They need to have somebody different coming out winning the title. Not have the same person win the title again and again. I can understand if superstars like Miz and John Cena winning the titles twice, because, it's what made them famous in WWE, winning titles and, winning a Money in the Bank briefcase and winning the biggest matches of their careers. I can understand legends and superstars like Sting and Ultimate Warrior and all those guys winning titles and and getting big pushes in WWE. One person that I think still needs to continue to get pushed is Aleister Black, one of my favorite male superstars, my favorite WWE male superstars. One person that is continuing to get pushed is Aleister Black. Aleister Black. Speaking of Aleister Black, WWE is continuing to give him a push. I think he still should have won that Money in the Bank men's match, but Otis was the one that came out victorious in that Money in the Bank ladder match. He still had the briefcase. Oh, and his tag team partner was Braun Strowman. I'll tell you all that in a little while. In the meantime, let's talk a lot about Charlotte Flair. So yeah, whether you all like it or not, you have to respect Charlotte Flair and what she has done and everything she's done in WWE. It made sense for her to come to SmackDown. It made sense for them to put her on SmackDown. For her to appear on SmackDown. It made sense for her to appear on SmackDown because, let's be honest, she's appeared on Raw, she's appeared on NXT, so it made perfect sense for her to appear on SmackDown. Plus, she's been on all three brands. She can pretty much do what she wants. She's done everything that she can do in WWE. I mean, she can't help herself. I mean, WWE has used the woman a lot. I mean, for fuck's sakes, Charlotte Flair can't even catch a break because WWE keeps using her. She keeps appearing, and which is why she keeps appearing on TV twice. Because the producers and all of them in WWE keep using the same person over and over. They don't never give them a break. So, you gotta feel bad for Charlotte Flair of the simple fact that they are using her and putting her on TV a lot. It seems like they never give Charlotte Flair a break. Well, let's be honest, the WWE loves Charlotte Flair. Ric Flair was the one that made her famous. Ric Flair is the reasons why she is a 12-time women's champion. Well, Ric Flair and herself, mainly herself, is the reason. Her own self is the reason why she's the 12-time women's champion. She's genetic superior. She's strong. She's beautiful. She's tough. She's strong, powerful, smart. Well, when you call Ric Flair the Nature Boy, you might as well call Charlotte the Nature Girl. I mean, it makes sense. Yeah, she's beautiful, smart, strong. She's a genetic superior woman, the 12th-time women's champion. Ric Flair's daughter, the Nature Girl, the current NXT Women's Champion, the Queen, Charlotte Flair. See what I did there? That was good, wasn't it? I did retweeted her post on Twitter and said that's all I said when I retweeted her post. I retweeted it with comment. But seriously, you gotta respect Charlotte Flair and what she's done in WWE. And again, it made sense for her to appear on SmackDown because of the simple fact that she's already appeared on Raw and NXT numerous times because she's on the NXT brand. She's on the NXT Women's roster. She's not on the Raw roster or SmackDown roster. She's on the NXT roster, NXT Women's roster. I think I've already said that. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Excuse me, I'm back. I had to sneeze. Alright. At first, about Charlotte Flair, at first I didn't like Charlotte. When she debuted in NXT, when she first came to the WWE, I didn't really like her. But then when she started improving and progressing, and when she got a new entrance music and a new entrance Titantron, name and new gear and a new attitude. When she was a heel and babyface. And, you know, when she started improving, that's when I started liking her. When she started cutting more, better promos, that's when I started liking her. When she started winning championships, that's when I started liking her. I still like her. She's a pretty good WWE women's superstar. She's a good WWE female superstar is what I'm trying to say. And yes, she is genetic superior. She really is. I'm surprised she never said that in the ring. She knows she is. She doesn't have to, though, really. She doesn't have to say it. I think WWE should give Charlotte a vacation or a break because I personally, in my opinion, think Charlotte Flair has done everything she can do in WWE. Now, the only thing she hasn't done the only thing she hasn't done in WWE is win the women's tag team titles. That's the only thing she hasn't done in WWE. So I'll be surprised if Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair form some faction together and win the women's tag team titles. I'll be surprised if they do that drinking the coffee gimmick that they both did when they were best friends on the Smackdown Live roster, women's roster, for that matter. I'll be surprised if Charlotte Flair becomes women's tag team. I'll be surprised if Charlotte Flair becomes one half of the women's tag team champions. Excuse me, I'm trying to get my shit right today. I don't know if y'all realize or recognize that sometimes I stutter when I talk. Sometimes I try to clear my words. Sometimes I try to say stuff right for it to make sense for you all. You know what I'm saying? I try to clarify what I'm saying. I try to get stuff right. I try to get my words right, so you all can say, "Oh, now he's making sense. Now I understand what he's saying," But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. I hope you are watching my review because, ladies and gentlemen, this is your May the 15th, 2020 Friday Night Smackdown review. And please retweet. Those of you that are on Twitter, my Smackdown review is posted on Twitter. Please, those of you that are on Twitter, please retweet. And most importantly, hit that like, subscribe button. Turn on the bell for all notifications so you won't miss all my Monday Night Raw reviews, NXT reviews, and Friday Night Smackdown reviews that I do on my channel every single week. Now, I know some of you are wondering why I haven't done my 205 Live and my NXT UK reviews. It's because I don't really see them on TV much. I don't really see both of those brands on TV. On TV, I only see Friday Night Smackdown. But on the YouTube, watching the highlights, I see Raw. I only watch Raw and NXT highlights. But I may be, I'm probably do a few NXT UK matches, that took place this month, and that took place last month. Probably do some of those in a video clip. Not sure if I actually had that planned or not. But, as you can see, I do have a video clip of Roberto Carrillo versus Bobby Lashley posted on Twitter, if you guys want to check that out. You can. Like the video, please. And comment Comment whatever you want. Doesn't matter. As long as it's respectful, though. Let's be honest. Because the YouTube community says make sure your comments are respectful. You have to. You have to on days like this. On sites like that, you have to be respectful with your comments. Commenting on somebody's live stream or review or broadcast or video or however you want to call those. Anyways, moving forward, ladies and gentlemen, follow me on Twitch. Be sure you follow me on Twitter. Like my Facebook page that I've created that I'm still going to boost up, that I still haven't done yet. I don't know when I'm going to boost it up. I still haven't done it. I'm probably going to boost it up in a few months. Every time I say that, I don't do it. Most importantly, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, most importantly, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Alright. With that being said, before I get started with the review, first of all, let's say that the Intercontinental title tournament started last night, and also it said that Charlotte would be on the show that night, which she was, and she is still, keep in mind, she is still the NXT Women's Championship. And everybody was interested to see what would be next for the Queen. The podcasters are wondering what will be next for the Queen. Everybody that watches WWE, that watches Smackdown, that watches Raw, watches NXT, everybody around the world, especially the WWE fans that are fans of Charlotte Flair, are wondering what is next for the Queen. Now, I don't know what's next for her. But I think last night we found out, because I watched the whole thing. But we found out what was next for her, I think. So, all that and more was slated for last night's Friday Night Smackdown on Fox. So, without further ado, let's get started with the Friday Night Smackdown review. So, the opening segment. So as far as Miz TV goes, Miz and Morrison were already in the ring when the show started. Otis came out before being introduced. He was excited and did a cartwheel at ringside. That's something Ivor does. Ivor is not going to be happy about Otis copying his cartwheel, I'm pretty sure. I'm actually going to repeat this again because this is true facts. This right here is most definitely true. I'm going to say this again. I bet Ivor was watching this and thinking, he's trying to copy me doing my cartwheel. I don't think Ivor is going to be happy about what Otis did last night as far as doing the cartwheel. That's something Ivor does. Ivor is not going to allow someone to mock him like that, I'm pretty sure. Not to mention, I don't even think Otis did it right anyway. Yeah, Otis, that was the wrong thing to do before you went in the ring. Doing that cartwheel. Something Ivor does. Only Ivor does the cartwheel. Anyways. So, Otis didn't sit in the director's chair on the Miz TV set. He was afraid he'd break them. Well, he almost did break the chair. Then he was asked about his Money in the Bank win. He said his biggest win was winning Mandy Rose's heart. Of course he was gonna say that I knew it because I watched the whole fucking thing. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't mean to say it like that, but I want to say it like that to tell the truth. Telling it like it is. I did. I have a TV, so you know I watch Friday Night Smackdown. Now you know. Alright. So Miz asked him how he got Mandy. Morrison asked Otis if he was packing some serious meat in the briefcase. Otis revealed he has a contract. Relads and Gas X in his briefcase. What the hell is he doing with it? First of all, oh my god, I cannot believe it. I was fucking hilariously laughing at this. This mug had a Gas X in his briefcase, he said. He said he had a Gas X in his briefcase? What in the world? Huh. I remember the part when Corey Graves said he lost his fucking lunch. Accolades for Miz and Morrison, and then he said he lost his lunch. That's like losing the fucking briefcase. Hopefully Otis doesn't lose his fucking briefcase. Because if he does, that's not going to turn out good for him. Hopefully he doesn't cash in early. He doesn't cash in early against Braun Strowman. Oh no! You think Braun Strowman's stupid? He's not going to let anybody cash in and take his title from him. He's not going to let somebody take his title. Most certainly not going to let Otis cash in. Otis was getting ready to cash in on Braun. Braun saw through him though. He wasn't stupid. Anyways. So they showed pictures of Otis as a baby for some reason. That was just beyond weird. Showing Otis as a baby. That was just beyond weird. I mean, what kind of segment was this? What the world kind of segment was this? I didn't understand it. I mean, I didn't understand why WWE came up with this segment to start Friday Night SmackDown. I was lost on that. I was confused. Anyways, he weighed 12 pounds, 4 ounces. I was the biggest. He said I was the biggest baby to come out. My other Morrison asked Otis if he was pregnant and said Otis should do what Lynch did by relinquishing the briefcase, even though that's not what Otis did. Okay. Let me tell you something. Now that's one thing to pick on Otis' belly, but you can't pick on Otis' strength. The guy has strength and power, and he does not have speed. I can tell you that right now. If he had speed, he'll be running like Lightning McQueen from Cars 2, or like a cheetah from Animal Planet. Let's see. Well, he didn't look so good in that chair. Otis did, because the flat of the chair fell. The chair where he set his ass on, it fell when he sat on it. The chair said he didn't want no part of Otis. So, the part where Otis sits his butt on, the part of the chair where he sits his butt on, just fell. They didn't want no part of Otis. Especially given how big Otis is. Looks like the size of a bagel. It really does. His belly looks like the size of a fucking giant bagel. Anyways, they showed another picture of a younger Otis, and he said he had a teeming disability, but wrestling made sense to him. They showed another picture of Otis as a younger amateur wrestler, and Otis, it's all about seeing that. Oh yeah, still didn't understand this segment. I still was lost. Were they trying to build Otis up as a singles competitor? Is that what WWE is trying to do? Are they trying to build up as a singles competitor while Tucker is sitting at home, non-essential? Is that what they were trying to do? Building him up while Tucker's sitting at home, non-essential? Building Otis up as a singles competitor? I'd say yes, that's probably what they're trying to do. But a lot of people will probably disagree and say, hell no. Dude, Otis is still a tag team. Is still in the tag team with Tucker. How is he? Why are they making him a singles competitor? He's only a tag team competitor, not a singles competitor. What in the heck is WWE thinking? But you know what? Otis is doing pretty good as a singles competitor, though. Sometimes he may not need Tucker. You know what? The whole reason why Tucker is out is because he's non-essential. They labeled him as non-essential. I don't know why WWE would label Tucker as non-essential when he is in a tag team with Otis. See what they mean by not using talent? See what they mean by release? You see why the WWE superstars got released like they did? Now you see why the fans got mad that WWE released superstars like EC3 and Leo Rush and Eric Rowan. WWE released those superstars because of financial reasons. Because of the financial. They wanted money. Or whatever. Whatever they wanted. It's the reason why they released those superstars, which I think didn't make sense. I felt bad for I felt bad for all of them that lost their jobs. They said Sarah Logan could be returning soon, but we have not seen Sarah yet. I think that was brought up on one of the podcast's YouTube channels. But I think they were lying when they said Sarah could be coming back soon. That's a darn lie because we haven't seen her come back since. So, therefore, in my opinion, I think they're lying about Sarah Logan's return. I'm not buying it. I watched it and it said Sarah Logan could be returning. Still not buying it. Anyways, yes, Miz couldn't stand Otis has the briefcase and the girl. He can't stand that Otis is so close to being the face of SmackDown. Miz said he wants a tag team match tonight. He doesn't care who Otis picks as his partner. Anyone who wants to tag with the human version of Shrek. Too bad Vince broke up Otis' actual tag team. No, I don't even think Vince broke up the Otis tag team. See, they labeled, like I said, I'm going to say this again. I've said this before, and I'm going to say this again. Otis and Tucker are still a tag team. They just labeled Tucker as non-essential. I don't know what they mean by that, but that's what they did. Tucker is technically still on the roster. So you can't say So Miz can't say that they broke up because they haven't. For the least part, they haven't. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. So the first match that started off Friday Night Smackdown. The first match of Friday Night Smackdown. And I need to hurry up so I can go to bed because I am tired. I need to hurry up and do this stuff quick so I can end this review and get off and go to bed because I am tired, folks. Eyes are getting there. My body is feeling tired. My head, brain's feeling tired. Alright. So the first match of Friday Night Smackdown was none other than the former 24/7 champion, Elias, versus King Corbin. Yes, this King Corbin. Folks, here's what happened with this match. So Elias was back and he seemed to be just fine after that brutal attack from Corbin a few weeks ago. So the return of Elias, it was the return of Elias. He looked okay. It looked like he was still banged up from that attack though. Don't you all agree with me when I say he kind of still looks banged up? Anyways, Corbin and Elias got started with some brawling and they traded advantage. So they traded advantage. Okay. Which would that make sense? Does that even make sense? Traded advantage? Does that even make sense? It doesn't sound right to me. I don't know why, but when I read it and it said traded advantage, I was thinking, what the? That doesn't sound right. Anyways, Corbin hit a back elbow and got a 2 count. Then he latched a submission hold on Elias for a bit. So then there comes the other boring part that you all probably don't want to hear. Elias fought out of it. Corbin went outside. Then he returned and wanted a clothesline. Elias ducked Corbin. Elias ducked. Corbin went outside, and Elias hit a dive off the top turnbuckle to the floor. They brawled outside, and Corbin sent Elias into the barricade before putting him in the ring. Gotta admit, that barricade had to kind of hurt Elias a little bit. Corbin grabbed Elias' guitar and acted like he was playing it. Corey Graves said it was awesome. No, it was more like garbage and utterly boring. Elias hit a drop kick and sent him into the ring steps and the ring post. Yeah, Corbin grabbing that guitar was utterly boring and terrible, just like he is. Just like his heel character. So yeah, gonna read this once again. Elias hit a dropkick, sent him into the ring steps and ring post. Then he sent him over the barricade. They continued on, and Elias wouldn't let Corbin pin him, even after landing his running around the post into a clothesline spot. He nailed another clothesline and took his time before getting Elias up for a third short clothesline. Elias hit a net breaker to create some separation as they both got to their feet. Then Elias landed some body shots. He got pumped up and ripped his shirt off before continuing with a clothesline. Elias sent Corbin into his face and landed a knee drop before climbing up.
The bell rings, and by the
Excuse me, I had to cut my mic off because I was yawning. Bayley then got frustrated and challenges Charlotte to a match. Charlotte accepts. However, Flair has a question. Not for Bayley. She asks Sasha to think long and hard about whether or not she is her own woman, or if she's just Bayley's lackey. So Braun is lifting backstage. He is asked if him warming up is a sign that he'll be Otis' partner. Braun says he's still chewing on it. Forgotten Sons are backstage, and they choose to serve their country because they wanted to serve their country, but they weren't welcomed as heroes. They weren't welcomed home with open arms, so they will welcome everyone else with closed fists. So Renee Young interviews Miz and John Morrison backstage. They react to Otis attempting to recruit Braun Strowman. Morrison says he's named Braun and not Brain for a reason, but not even Braun would be stupid enough for Otis' ploy to get an opportunity to cash in. Miz says even if Braun accepts, they're no match for Miz Morrison. Bryan makes it was Daniel Bryan versus Drew Gulak, ladies and gentlemen. Another great Daniel Bryan versus Gulak match. The match, I enjoyed it. Their technical skills, I enjoyed seeing a match between Daniel Bryan and Gulak for the second time. First time they went against each other was when Gulak was a heel. Yes, Gulak was still a heel when he first challenged Daniel Bryan to a single match. And then, when Sami Zayn and all of them were talking crap about Daniel Bryan, backstage, Drew Gulak immediately turned face and, said, hey, blah, 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 this and that, So now, it's like now Drew Gulak is a babyface. Now, his second match with Daniel Bryan, now he's a babyface. First match with Daniel Bryan, he was a heel. So, Bryan made Gulak tap out, of course, with a leg lock. So the winner was Daniel Bryan. So after the match, Daniel Bryan reminds us that it's been nearly 5 years since he had to relinquish the Intercontinental Championship, and he hasn't had a shot at it ever since. He wants to make the title the official title of Smackdown, and the title representing the best wrestler in WWE, which he believes is him. Gulak and Bryan show each other respect after. So they said, there were 4 matches announced for next Friday's Friday Night SmackDown. One was Charlotte Flair versus Bayley. The other was Jeff Hardy and Sheamus. The third one, AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. And the fourth one is Otis and Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville and Dolph Ziggler. Are all announced for next week. Those are the matches that were announced for next Friday, which is next week, of course. So then, Sonya cut a promo on backstage saying everything she said had become reality, and that she and Dolph Ziggler would humiliate Otis and Mandy next week. Wow. This has become an intense rivalry between Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. This has become an intense rivalry and feud. Also, the feud It's a feud. Rivalry feud seems the same, but not really. There's a difference between that. But this feud between Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville has become personal for real. Wow. That's just like Daniel Bryan and Nikki Bella's feud with Marisa and Miz. You know what I mean? It's just like that. Anyways, the main event of Friday Night Smackdown was wait for it. Main event was Otis, Braun Strowman. It was Otis and Braun Strowman versus The Miz and Morrison. So again, it was Otis and Braun Strowman versus Miz and Morrison. Hey, hey, oh, Miz and Morrison. Hey, hey, oh, Miz and Morrison. Hey, hey, oh, Miz and Morrison. Hey, hey, oh. Okay, let me stop. Seriously. So now. So of course, easy answers to what happened with this match. This is an easy answer. Strowman hit the running power slam on Morrison for the win. It doesn't say what all happened with the match. It just says Strowman hits the running power slam on Morrison for the win. That's all it says. So after Otis and Braun Strowman's victory, after the match, Mandy Rose came out. She distracts Braun, and Otis pretends to attack him from behind. Then he says he was just kidding. The three stand tall as Smackdown went off air. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is officially the end of your Friday Night Smackdown review. So, I hope you got to hear what you got to hear about what happened on Friday Night Smackdown last night. I was both impressed and wasn't impressed at the same time with Friday Night Smackdown. The show was a little better than the 6 garbage episodes of Friday Night Smackdown. That's been garbage for 6 weeks. Of course, all those 6 episodes were garbage for 6 weeks. I can tell you right now, what I liked about this episode was that Braun Strowman and Otis got teamed up together against Miz and Morrison. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Miz and Morrison. Hey, hey, oh, let's go, Miz and Morrison. Hey, hey, oh, that's not the only thing. I liked that backstage promo by Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville cut the fucking biggest promo of her fucking life again. Yay! That means the feud's gonna continue. And this rivalry between Otis and Ziggler, man, that's took it to a whole nother level, just like the Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville rivalry and feud. Don't forget, Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose are still best friends in real life. Not on TV, but in real life. They were on TV, not on TV anymore, but in real life they are. Because they used to date. They were dating. I think they used to date. Not sure if Sonya Deville has a new girlfriend or not. It may be Randy Rose, though. They may still be dating. I'm not sure. Of course, Otis and Mandy is dating on TV, not in real life. Anyways. So, I did tell y'all the 2 things I did like about Friday Night Smackdown. Number 3, I like how they're building up Dana Brooke when they should have been building her up a long time ago. But now I like how they're building up Dana Brooke. I like how this could lead to Naomi turning heel on Friday Night Smackdown. I hope it doesn't turn around and lead to Carmella turning heel, because that would be worse. Anyways. I really would like to see Naomi as a heel because I want to see what Naomi does as a heel. I'm interested to see. I am interested to see them give Naomi the heel turn she needs to be at the top of the SmackDown Women's Division, be a top star and win the SmackDown Women's Division like she is now still. Technically, she's still a star. And win that women's title. Or if she's going to get the help of one of the Usos to win the title. To win that SmackDown Women's title. I'm interested to see her at SmackDown Women's title with Jimmy Uso by her side. I'm interested to see that. Anyways, the match between Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak, even though it's the same match, these two are the most gifted athletes in the ring today. Their technical skills were on display. These two are good on the mats, in the ring. These two are good in the ring. The rivalry took to a whole nother level. But obviously this was not a rivalry. This was a tournament to determine which one of them were going to move on, which was Daniel Bryan. I loved how they had Daniel Bryan as the victor. But I would have also loved the fact that they would have had Drew Gulak as the victor, but instead they had Daniel Bryan as the victor. I loved that too. And what else? That's it. As far as everything else. Oh yeah. I love how Charlotte Flair cut that amazing promo, and I loved how Sasha Banks and Bayley came out and stopped her with her tracks by cutting themselves a promo to Charlotte. This week's SmackDown was a smack bang in the middle. Like how Wrestle Talk says it on their channel. I think it was a smack bang in the middle because, meaning it was pretty good and it was not pretty good. There were some things that weren't good about this episode, and there was most things that were good about this episode. So yeah, smack bang in the middle for this week's episode of SmackDown. Or should I say this Friday's episode of SmackDown. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button, and turn on all bell for notifications. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Be sure you wash your hands. Keep your hands clean. And stay 6 feet away from the people that's ill, that's suffering from illness, that's got the virus, that's probably suffering from illness at the same time. But seriously, stay safe, be careful, and remember, stay 6 feet away. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good day. Oh, and have a good rest.